What's going on, everybody? We are live. I am Adam. This is Open Late. This isn't normally the format for Open Late, but on this occasion, my desk wasn't big enough to sort of do the normal setup that I do. I got so many things to open that I had to sort of go with my format that I normally use for when I just chat. So let's see how this works out. Next to me, I have all of the Wave 2 figures. I have, all four of the standard figures. I've got Thane, and I've got all the Ancients. I pre-opened the head packs, so I got a little bit ahead of the game. I've even swapped some of the heads on the Wave 1 figures. So we're going to open some figures. We're going to do some head swaps. I'm going to give you my first impressions of these figures because this is the first I've had Wave 2 in hand. But first, I will say, a massive thank you to eCollectibles.ca. That's where I got these figures from. These are all, I will say this, these are all figures that I paid for. I shill pretty hard for Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, but I paid for all this stuff. So this is my honest opinion about these figures. Let's be honest. I think we all know that I'm probably going to have a pretty good positive opinion of these figures at this point. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a factory defect or something. Maybe something fun like that will happen. I doubt it, though. I've already kind of looked at them in the packaging. The chat is already going a little bit crazy. Jeremy gets here early every time and expects me to start the videos early because he wants to. Mr. Wonderful has been hanging out. Oz is hanging out as well. Eldor is here. Who else we got? Action Figs. We got Nolan in the house. Jeremy unsubscribed. Thank you for that, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Good riddance. Thanos Copter is here. What's going on, Thanos Copter? In all seriousness, I'm trying to get Jeremy on, or Jeremy will be on soon. Because he will have something to talk about, I think. So we will we'll stay tuned. More details coming soon. He actually just messaged me as I was about to go on with more stuff that he wants to talk about, I guess. Kelly Chase is here. Kelly's very stoked for this. I'm very stoked for this. I've been waiting a long time to get these figures, and I'm very, very happy to have them on my desk. Not open yet, so I can't really say in hand, but Jeremy says respect the orange paper. I will tonight. That being said, I still don't have the orange paper, so I guess I don't have to respect the orange paper until I have it, is my logic. Ray Paz is hanging out. Ray Paz says they are awesome. Can't wait to get the armor. I am with you. The Ancients are great for fodder, but the fact that we're going to get armor sets in Wave 3 is awesome because now all of those Ancients will get armor. I've already been doing some swapping to sort of get a little more diversity in some of my armies, but we're going to get even more of that very, very soon. Plus, we've got some army builders in Wave 3. And I mean, if you count the hyena in Wave 5, there's another army, or in Wave 4, there's an army builder in Wave 4 as well. So Jeff Morris is here as well. I think that's everybody that's in the chat. So without further ado, let's get into it. What should I start with, though? That's my predicament. Is do I start with the standard figures? Do I start with Thane? Do I start with the Ancients? First comment that I see that sort of picks one of those, I will go with. Unless it's Thane, because I don't want to open Thane first. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for all of them, and I'm excited for sort of the potential that they all offer. Yeah, Kelly says Thane. Of course he does. No, Thane will be last. Mr. Wonderful, Vero. All right, let's do it. Let's start with Vero Atlas. And then we will sort of go through the standard figures. Then I'll do the Primal Ancients, and then I will do Thane. That is going to be the order. So let's get into it. Where is he? Vero Atlas. up first, Vero Atlas, the Kickstarter exclusive. I've been saying for ages, if you're only going to get one AWOK figure, grab one of these while you still can. They're not going to be released again. They are limited quantity. It was basically a minimum order quantity amount of these figures, and once they're sold out, that's it. That's all. Do I need to go through the packaging? I don't think I do. I've already done unboxings. You've seen reviews. I'll just be very, very brief with the packaging. You get the art on the side. You get all the figures in the wave on the back. You get a little bio for Vero Atlas there as well. Now, this is, of course, the Eddie Salvatore tribute figure. So Vero Atlas is a mix up, a jumble of the letters of his name, Salvatore, and I think that's pretty cool. But like I said, I don't want to be here all night, so I'll do that with all the packages. I'll show you the art, I'll show you the bio, but I won't read it or do anything with it, and then I'll move on to the next one. Gotta get the orange bag off the card. Now, are you guys saving the boxes like I am, or do you bin your boxes right away? I'm keeping one of each box. I'm not keeping all of my boxes, but. So not only do we get the small orange bag with the hands, but we get a big orange bag with a couple more accessories in it. I think that's the first big orange bag that I've gotten. If any of you guys collect Mythic Legions, the orange bags to me are a little bit like the wing adapters. I'm saving all of them. Even if I get rid of the boxes, I will be saving all of my orange bags. Just cause I can. There's no reason at all. But one day when they don't have orange bags, I'll be like, yeah, I got hundreds of orange bags. I don't think I'll have hundreds, but you get the point. There he is, out of the box with all his goodies. One thing about these figures, getting them out of the package is really easy. Which, it's not a selling feature, but I appreciate it. Watch this guy not come out. That'll be just my luck. eCollectibles knows that I probably will have hundreds. You're probably right. I probably will end up with hundreds. Action Fix says I'm keeping most of the boxes. Ray Paz says I'm keeping the UPC codes, hoping he does some mail away. That would be cool. Thanos Copter says I have Vero on pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store. It will probably hit after I ship my pile of loot. Wouldn't that? Thanos Copter, Big Bad Toy Store should get their Wave 1 and Wave 2 stuff like mid-August, so you might be able to ship it end of August. So, I mean, if you can wait that long. Nolan says his staff is terrific. My favorite accessory for him. The staff is terrific, and I know that because I have a prototype unpainted staff, like just it's just the clear purple, and that thing's awesome. To get it painted is like next level. Now, figure is out of the package. There he is in all his glory. Simple accessories to Vero Atlas. He gets the wrist gauntlets, the shin pads, whatever. There's a name for them. The sort of skirt bit, and then the strap. I'm doing a really good job of explaining these, aren't I? It's a minimal amount of gear, very similar to Pale, but I really like it. It's very effective. Now, that being said, with the extra Vero Atlas that I have is going to get that alternate head, and I think I'm going to put some of the like armored legs just to add a little bit more to the figure himself. We get the spear in 2 parts. Now, somebody messaged me and said like, "Oh, the sword is really cool, and it's really cool that it comes with a piece to convert it to a spear." And I said, "The sword?" I was like, "That's not a sword." I said, "That is a spear. It's not. It just comes in 2 pieces. That's just how it has to be shipped. Size-wise, it just sort of doesn't fit in the box or whatever. So there it is. You know, with the 2 pieces combined." I love these spears. I think they're a really fun accessory, and they do work as a sword, so they can hold the they can hold that top bit as a sword. And as I sort of amass more and more of these spears, I think there's a good chance that you know I will end up using some of them as swords. He also comes with this big axe. This is one of my favorite weapons in the line. Um, I don't know. There's something about axes that I just think is a really cool weapon. Both the big axe and the smaller axes. Are we going to see axes in here? I don't know, but the axes are really, really cool. Tiberius comes with those 2 axes, and that's sort of. I think I have him pose with his axes sort of across his chest. I think they're really, really cool. Vero also comes with the sort of blunderbuss. You know, multi-shot kind of revolver pistol. These are really cool. I like the design of those. We've seen that before with Kali and then in the weapons packs. But Nolan, I agree with you 100%. The best accessory in the line, and it's unique to Vero Atlas, is this really cool magic staff. Vero Atlas is a magic user. So this is, forgive my shakiness. I've mentioned this before, but it's essential tremor. I can't do anything about it. All right, get over it. But yeah, you get the translucent crystal. Now I'm not 100% sure, but I suspect that this whole staff is actually translucent and it's painted over. And what I have is sort of the pre-paint version of it. But yeah, absolutely stunning. This actually looks to be a slightly different plastic than mine, possibly, but I'm not sure. But yeah, looks absolutely stunning. You get sort of that wood finish, and it has like a look like the wood, like the crystal is kind of like the wood is grown around that crystal rather than it's been sort of put in there. It looks very organic, very natural. Really, really, really cool accessory. One of my favorite accessories across any of the lines that I collect. Then of course we get the extra hands. And for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to show all the extra hands because they all come with the same, essentially, apart from color. And then the apes come with different hands than the cats, but that's it is what it is. But you get the closed fist, you get the open hand, which is really great for posing them up, and they can kind of hold on to each other's arms and stuff with these. I found out these are really good. These are really fun. And then on the figure, you get the sort of grip, the standard gripping hands. All right, that's Vero Atlas. My, getting this guy in hand now and getting a closer look at him, beautiful. It's an absolutely stunning figure, and as I sort of anticipated, one of my favorites. I love the color palette. I love you guys can't even see it, so I'll try to hold it up as I'm sort of saying these things. I love the color palette. I love the purple with the gold. The stripes look absolutely fantastic. They've done a really, really good job with the stripes. It's not overpowering. You get the stripes on his back as well, which looks a little bit like kind of a tramp stamp of sorts, being that it's very sort of clustered. But that's okay. I can live with that. Really, really great figure. And we'll do a head swap on that guy once we get through. Should we do head swaps as we go, or should we do head swaps at the end? Do we come back around? Kelly Chase. Basically, we should send you all our extra wing adapters. No, I don't want the wing adapters. I have enough wing adapters. What else? What else? What else? Lexion, we love the technical terms for the armor. Keep going. Yeah, I know that they have technical terms. Greaves is one. There's a technical term for the skirt that sort of comes from Roman legions, but I don't. Whatever, it is what it is. It's a skirt as far as I'm concerned. Brick is here as well. What's going on, Brick? Saying hello to everybody in the chat. Daniel's Copper been playing with my AWOKs more than anything else lately. Yeah, you and me both. Brick, didn't order Bureau from Spiro. Waiting on mine from your favorite retailer. Yeah, they're not my favorite. Oh, unless you mean you ordered one from eCollectibles, which probably get you a better deal anyway. Speaking of eCollectibles, Tiberius catches my eye the most in the warehouse. How does he stand out for you now that you have 2 waves in hand? I still love Tiberius. I love Tigers. I love the detail and the deco on Tiberius as well. He's up there, and I won't bother grabbing him, but he definitely does stand out because there's probably the most sort of diverse color palette on him, being that he is an orange tiger in gold and blue armor. Yeah, and he's got cool accessories too. He's got those axes and he's got the big mace. Definitely a very, very good figure. There isn't a figure. Well, as I go through them, I'll sort of talk about it. There's figures that I kind of I hesitated on. That once I've seen them, in person, I absolutely love them. But I'll chat about that. Brick, Adam's wisdom made sure I didn't pass on Vero. He's 100% right. Need to go grab Vero. Vero is, I mean, if for no other reason than sort of the collector sort of aspect of you're never going to get a chance to get one of these again. And it's the only way to get that staff. And I think I've caught up. Hi, Eddie's here. What's going on, Eddie? Golden Age, Eddie. Watching makes me want to buy this line. Just wait. There's a lot more goodness coming. Brick, can you say how much you know about Vero's role in the lore? He tells me nothing. Vero is a magic user. We haven't gotten very deep into magic use in the comic books yet, but it's definitely there. Stay tuned. Nolan says, still need Lexion and Khor Doon for Wave 2. Well, I have them, so let's take a look at them. Good segue, too, because I will say this. Lexion and Khor Doon were the 2 figures that initially, when I was sort of looking at all the figures, all the Kickstarter stuff, everything that was on offer in the first 2 waves of figures, essentially, those were the 2 figures that I was sort of like, I could live without these. I could hold off. There was something about the color palettes that at the time didn't really grab me. There was something about this. Khor Doon felt, dare I say, like boring. He absolutely is not. And on top of that, the sculpt is fantastic. And I got a pre-production Khor Doon as a gift from Jason, and absolutely fell in love with the sculpt. The head sculpt is phenomenal. The accessories, like the shoulder pauldrons, and the mismatch. At first, I wasn't sold on. When I learned more about why they're mismatched and sort of what's going on with that, I had to have them. So let's open up Khor Doon. So Khor Doon is there looking fierce. He is, of course, the sort of weapons master of House Fairlist. There's the art on the side, really great art from Utamu. And then the back, you get the full art for Khor Doon and the bio. Feel free to pause in the replay or don't. Read the comic books. It's way more fun. Because I think some of the bios are like a little bit like the card back bios don't really tell you much. Go get the comic book. Digital versions are $2 on SpiroToys.com. And if you get the digital version, you can get it sent right away. You don't have to send me an email that says, "Where's my stuff?" I kid. I enjoy answering 99% of the emails. 1% of them, not so much. All right, now Khor Doon. As I said, I do have the pre-production Khor Doon. So that's kind of why I'm opening him next, is because I technically already had this figure in hand, and I need to cut the little thing. Here I'm trying to yank him out of here and not cutting the little. I just realized I'm making a mess of those boxes, and I'm going to have to figure out which insert goes with which figure after the fact, since I am, at the moment, saving them. Spare hands. He got spare hands. We already knew that. Man, this is going to be a mess. Yeah. I'm going to try to keep this somewhat organized. Spare hands. He gets the bow unstrung, but if you can go get some string from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or whatever the store is near you that does sort of crafting stuff, I'm sure for like a few bucks you can buy a roll, and you could probably get every one of these bows that you're ever going to collect strung up, which I think is a bit of a bonus. I'm intending to do that with mine. Then we get the two sort of big swords. Now these are the same ones that Kali gets, but just in different colors. So you get the sort of red and blue metallics. Not quite the same, I don't think, red as like the Chunari weapons pack. It seems a little bit different. The only item I've got from that weapons pack is right here, the spear. And I don't know if it's gonna, like, there's a slightly different hue to them. They're still very similar. This one has a little more orange to it, if that makes sense, and this one is a little more red. But they're close enough. I mean, you could certainly throw that in to the Chunari weapon rack. The blue is pretty similar to the cobalt blue. I take that back. It's considerably darker. That I think you can actually see that the sword is darker than the cobalt weapons. Maybe you can't, but take my word for it. Then, of course, you get Khor Doon. Really, really good looking figure. Kind of a cougar type cat, I suspect. With the mismatched stuff, still looks fantastic. You get the hits of metallic. I think what I didn't appreciate on these before I had any figures in hand was how good the paint apps were going to be. And this Khor Doon especially looks not simple to me, not basic, but the amount of detail that I sort of didn't notice or didn't appreciate is very, very much apparent once you get it in hand. Things like the sort of metallic paint on the ring and the little sort of rivets on the shoulder strap, and there's metallic on there. the fact that, you know, there's weathering, I don't know, it's not going to pick it up, but there's weathering on like the shoulders where it looks like it's been sort of struck with a blade. Same goes for his little sort of cuff on his arm. And you know, the wrist gauntlets as well. Like the weathering, the attention to detail on all of these figures. It's not just Khor Doon. It's, you know, if I don't mention it on other ones, it's there on all of them. I saw the I saw a figure that's coming up before it got weathered, and it looked really really good. And then I saw it after it got sort of the weathering added to the 3D sculpt, to the render, and it makes a world of difference. Um, you know, this one too has like little scuff marks and little dents and stuff like that. Like, they're absolutely fantastic. The shoulder pads come off as well. I took them off the prototype. I may as well take them off this one. And I'll do the head swap for this one too, because I'm going to pop the head off. So I will show you this. So there he is, Khor Doon, with all of his gear. I'm respecting the orange sheet. The heads are allowed to come off. So from the feral feline headset, we get the this head as an option as well, which will fit on this Khor Doon figure. But you just pop his head off, arms up, and it's easier said than done the first time around. It's soft enough plastic that when I put the arms up, you know, it kind of gets out of the way. It's not easy because you got to kind of push it and force it, but then they come right off. So all the armor, I shouldn't say all the armor, most of the armor is removable. And I'm just going to take this off for the sake of taking it off, and then sort of show you what I'm talking about. Anything that's on a bicep doesn't come off. The wrist ones come off. The shin guards come off. The skirting comes off. You end up with a naked pail. But that's what a figure looks like, you know, with nothing, and then that stuff's all just layered on top, swappable from figure to figure. So there you go. The shoulder pads come off quite easily, as you saw, and I'm doing it, you know, under pressure. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. Now I got to put it back on, which, as I said, is easy if I can remember which way it came off. Jeez. I'm making this look a lot harder than it is. Like I said, when the lights are on and you know, people are watching, it's not as easy. There we go, right back in place. Away you go. New head. And you got a totally different figure. How great is that? The head packs. Also, if you didn't get head packs, get the head packs. I've already put 4 heads on 4 different figures over here, and they look awesome. I'm quickly just gonna sort of segue into that. Atreyu with a head swap. That head looks awesome. This to me is gonna be like my Feralist kind of royal guard kind of thing. Like, this will be like Atreyu's mentor or something like that. I did head swaps on, and I put their helmets on, but I'll take the helmets off for the sake of showing you. I did head swaps on the Horde Ravager and the Chunari Legionary. So, like I said, you can add a little bit more diversity. Not every one of your figures can have the same head. So you get, you know, it doesn't look like you just have 10, you know, Chunari Legionaries. As I already showed, I did the head swap on Pale as well. This guy is going to get a black wash as well. The reason for that is the head swap makes him look totally different, but I do want him to look more different than Pale, because I want Pale to really stand out as a unique sort of color and a unique figure within the line, personally. But do what you like. They're your toys. Brick, you were a little bit late. Inquiring minds want to know if you're saving your AWOK boxes. I'm saving one of each. I'm saving one of each box, and then all my extras, all my duplicates are getting binned. Love his armor. The chest straps and shoulder paladins look badass. They are. They look really, really good. And like I said, the design, the attention to detail, in the sculpting, in the weathering, is really, really next level. It looks fantastic. So very, very happy with that. Nolan says the box art on these are fantastic. I agree. I've got them. Where did I put them? They're up there. They got moved. I've got so many that they didn't fit in their original spot. They had to be moved to a bigger shelf. And I don't even think that shelf's going to be big enough. So I'm going to have to build another shelf for them for more. Let's see. Kelly Chase. I'll get a physical copy of the comic so that way if there's a power outage, I can kick it old school and read comics with a flashlight. I have both. I have the digital because I can't wait to get the physical. So I've been getting the digitals the day they get released, and then I get the physical, shipped after the fact. So, Action Fig says, time for some gallon-sized freezer bags. What are you using the freezer bags for? Just out of curiosity. Storage? Are you using them for storage? I just had to buy more storage bins because I realized that I'm not going to have room in the storage that I currently have. Jeremy is he's like I don't know what you guys call it in the US, but he's like we call it workers comp, like WCB. He's like the supervisor that's making sure that I don't do anything against the rules that's like not best practice or whatever. Brick, orange sheet doesn't mention feet, but don't we need to take feet off to put on the chin calf armor? Jeremy says there's no chin armor. I'm enjoying this conversation. I wish I was in the chat sometimes. I mean, I guess I get to read it, but it's not the same. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What else? Brick something. Stupid me. I only got the villain's head pack. I need the others. The villain's head pack, to be honest, is like the least exciting one to me. I think it's called the Adventurer's head pack is the best one because you get the Legionary head and the Ravager head. And what's the third one in that pack? The Atreyu alternate head. So, two of those are like must-haves. And like I said, that Atreyu alternate head looks really, really good on the Atreyu body. So, no, after seeing them, I think I'm going to need to get those head packs. Definitely do. Like I said, they're not even that expensive. If you think about how much you would typically pay for like 3 custom heads, or even like, I'll be honest, even like how much time it would take to custom paint 3 existing heads as well as these are, factory level paint, it's worth just buying them. Then you've also got spare heads if you want to, custom paint stuff. You can sort of risk it and screw it up, in my opinion. AI, is there going to be armor add-ons for the basic troop builders? Yes, there is. It's in Wave 3. It is available to order now on SpiroToys.com. It will be available on eCollectibles.ca very soon. I have been assured by both ends of that transaction that it will be available very, very soon. Brick, I know you're right about the other impacts. At the time, I was trying to exercise some self-restraint. I'll be honest, so was I. I mean, it took me kind of it took a couple bites at the apple to end up with everything for me. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. it was the comic book that pushed me over the edge. I think I was in for 6 figures, and then reading the comic book, I went back and got everything. Lexion. This was, and I don't know if this is still the case, but this was, in sort of the design phase, and in terms of, when anytime I would ask him, I'd always get the same answer. Jason absolutely loves the design of Lexion. This is his favorite figure in the line. At first, I didn't get it. Like I said, there was something about the mismatched armor. There was something about a couple of the details that just didn't grab me. Let me open it up and sort of give you my first impression now, in hand versus render or whatever. There's the art on the side, bio and full art on the back, as well as all the other figures. Legalese. Don't take the arms out is probably what it says. I'm not gonna read it ever, because they're my toys and I don't have to if I don't want to. I just won't get warranty. Extra hands. I'm leaving them in the bag. You've seen the extra hands, and I'm not swapping the hands, so it doesn't really matter. For the sake of expediency, let's get these guys up. Cut the little thing. I gotta remember to cut the little thing. As I'm rushing through, that's the thing that I feel like I'm gonna forget over and over and over again. Brick, I see your comment. That yes, 100% that. Brick said those spots on Lexion are killer. He also has a vicious a-hole look about him. Yes. And the paint apps, the design, one aspect of him that sort of Jason described to me, really sold me on the figure. And I am going to take a moment here to try to sort of get him set up so that I could do it. But yeah, let's take a look. Now he is the exception to the rule. I was talking about how most of the armor comes off, so on and so forth. Lexion is a little bit different. This shoulder pad is effectively glued on. It's not held on with a strap. This one on the other side is held on, with the strap. And then his sort of chest armor is it's sort of glued on. Now, what you won't necessarily notice, if you kind of don't know this, but the pecs on these are a separate piece to the torso. This guy, Lexion, doesn't have that pec piece. He has this armor sort of set in that spot. So he's a little bit different than I think anything else so far in the first 2 waves. In that he has a sort of softer rubber piece as the armor that is in fact glued on. But look at how dope that armor looks. And again, the little sort of gold detail, the metallic details, even like the color of the orange on the shoulder pad, and there's metallic on the wrist gauntlet, and then there's matte as well. Like, that is what makes this figure absolutely stunning. Brick mentioned the spots. He's got spots on his legs, spots on his arms, spots on the head, on through the top of the head. And he really does have like a really, really badass look to him. Now, the thing that Jason mentioned to me is that with the neck articulation, he kind of sets Lexion up a little hunched over. So he's head a little bit forward and kind of a little bit forward, or a little bit lower, a little bit forward. Shoulders kind of rolled forward just ever so slightly. So he's going to have a slightly different posture to the other figures because he is a pirate. He's kind of like he's a nasty guy. He's a conniving, manipulative, bloodthirsty pirate. who will get his moment in the sun, so to speak, in the comic book. I have been assured. But yeah, absolutely beautiful figure. The deco is stunning. One other thing that the sort of chain mail to the skirting is absolutely fantastic, and the sort of paint carries through to the back, so there's sort of a metallic finish to that as well. Really, really nice figure. The colors work perfectly on this thing. The browns and the orange are perfect. I can't believe I'm honestly like with this figure in hand, I'm honestly kind of confused at how I looked at this initially and was like, nah, I don't need that. He's great. Oh, and the eyes. I mean, anybody that's had these in hand knows that the eyes are phenomenal. Like the detail work on the eye. That's not picking up, is it? Is that too close? Anyway, you can't see it, but get one in hand. They look amazing. I've also just noticed there's sort of like a gradient on the ears from sort of gray to black at the tips of his ears. Stunning. Oh, accessories. Let's do the accessories. He gets the big old sort of laser rifle. He gets the knuckle duster blade with the sort of spiky fist covering. These are I like these a lot. My Horde Ravagers all have this one. And then he gets the crossbow, which we've seen with Tiberius, which of course has the sort of cat head thing on the crossbow. Oh, excuse me. Awesome figure. Yeah. Thanos Copter says, I was just shooting him. Such a great looking figure. Check out Thanos Copter's Instagram to check out, I presume, to check out those shots, or you haven't posted those ones yet. Stay tuned to Thanos Copter's Instagram to see some great shots of those. Nolan says, I'm thinking I'm pretty all in on AWOK. Haven't seen one figure yet I haven't liked. Yeah, I know. It's a problem. The good news is, and I think, I mean, I've said this before, I think this is very, very clever, and this shows, you know, how much of a collector Jason is himself. Small waves, quarterly. This is a line that, unless you go crazy with army building and stuff like that, is going to be very manageable to keep up with in terms of, you know, getting complete waves, complete lines. You're not going to miss a figure because there's 37 releases 7 times a year. You know, you're looking at, with, you know, the odd exclusive or like an army builder or whatever, you know, you're looking at like 20 figures a year kind of thing, which, I mean, I think I've just pre-ordered 20 G.I. Joe figures in the last week. So 20 Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figures seems very manageable. Kelly, yes, 100%. I've seen folks adding tattered capes, makes him even more epic. I've seen capes on a lot of figures. I used a Dubon cape on a pale figure, and it looked awesome. It didn't quite look like I wanted it to, so I didn't keep it on there. Not that it didn't look the way I wanted it to. I want a different cape for pale, so I will have to get one. I just got rid of that box. I haven't shown you the art. I definitely want soft goods for these, because I think they definitely warrant soft goods. You know, I think you can add a lot of character to these characters that are already full of character with some soft goods. Blight, I already took them out of the box while I was talking. Art on the side looks awesome. Full art on the back. Bio as well. Blight is, I think, one of the figures that a lot of people were very, very, very excited about. You know, sight unseen, if you haven't seen the comic book and you kind of don't know what Blight is or who Blight is, I'm not going to spoil that tonight. Check out our AWOK Talk videos over on Brick Something's channel. And join us for Monkey Business, which is live chats about AWOK on my channel. We do both of those once a month. They alternate. The next episode of AWOK Talk should be coming soon. Brick? We recorded it. Brick's just editing it, so it should be out very, very soon. But as I said, sight unseen, I think a lot of people thought Blight looked super badass, which he absolutely does. Again, as far as deco goes, that's a pretty great combination. A black ape with a bright blue mohawk, purple, different shades of purple, different tones of purple, and then, you know, a very, very similar blue to his mohawk, maybe more of a turquoise to sort of the highlights in the sort of skirting there. But again, a beautiful figure. Really, really cool figure for sure. Very menacing. He has slightly different eyes, so he's got those red eyes as opposed to the sort of standard colored eyes that we've seen with most of the other figures. He gets a bit of an interesting sort of you know, setup because he's got the armored arm on this side. That is the same arm that Kali has. Other than that, he's effectively you know, a pale figure. Big character pale. He's clearly not pale. He's clearly black. But there's you know, there's two shades of black there. You know, the chest and then the hands as well are sort of a dark gray, like a very dark gray. His head is also a very dark gray, not quite an absolute black, but all his fur is absolutely black. And then that against the really dark purple, and then the metallic purple. You know, there's metallic purple running, you know, through the armor on his arm. There's metallic purple on the skirting, metallic on the knees as well. Very, very cool looking figure. Accessory wise, hands in an orange bag. A spear, which is delivered in two parts. The spear is, I didn't mention this, but I will say this. If you get a spear, don't force it together. There's a correct way that these go together. This isn't a square, it's keyed a little bit. So you gotta sort of line it up, which is not hard. But once you line it up, it's just friction fit. And once you get it on, they're on there. Oh, this one's a little soft. Once you get it on there, it's a nice, good, solid fit. It's not going anywhere. These blades, so all three of the blades that he gets have this really cool blue to kind of green fade, which is because these are poison-tipped weapons. For those of you that didn't know, some of you probably don't care. But anyway, these are kind of his main weapons that he has in the comic books. He uses these blades that, as I said, are poison-tipped. So super, super great figure. All four of the standard figures are awesome. Let's keep moving along. Just quickly check in with the chat. What are you guys talking about? Thanoscopter says he hasn't posted his pictures yet. Fair enough. Stay tuned. Like I said, go follow him on Instagram. Nolan, I want a Man-at-Arms style gray cloak for pale. Yes, like I said, I put Dubon's gray sort of cape, but I want something with a hood, I think, which shouldn't be that hard to find going forward. Ray Paz, it would look good with soft goods. Some of those Masterverse figs look good because of the soft goods. Yeah, I think you're right. I think, you know, in some cases, the soft goods just sort of accentuate the what's underneath. Nolan says blue mohawk. He's a must-have. Thanos Copter, thinking about grabbing a couple more Blights for alternate heads. Yes. What I would say is Blights and Onyxes, because then you can start swapping parts. You can put the um, the unarmored Onyx arm on there to swap that out if you want to. I mean, I'm not. It's easy for me to spend your money, but that's what I intend to do. Nolan says it's a tie between him being Blight and Thane for my favorite figure. Well, when I get to Thane, I will sort of let you know my thoughts on that. I love the Pale figure. Like, Pale is probably my favorite just because I love the character. If I had to pick like a second favorite figure at the moment, there might be a bit of recency bias, but I think Lexion might be my second favorite. At the moment. That being said, I've seen some of the stuff that's coming, and man, my favorite figures have not been released yet. I will just say that. Nolan says the color of his weapons are pretty sweet as well. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the paint app on them is fantastic. Shout out to Jason. Jason says, I'm so glad you mentioned how to put the spear together. Well, I think there's probably a lot of people that just force theirs together, and it is what it is. But don't do that. Put it together correctly. It's keyed, and it'll stay together better that way. Which I presume is why it's keyed. Moving on from Blight, we will get into the Primal Ancients. I got all four. I got all four. I'm going to do Onyx first because I just did Blight, so it kind of makes sense. We can sort of compare the colors to those two. Then I will do the Horrid Scavenger. Then I will do Ash. Then I will do the Feral Beastie, and then I will do Thane. So we're halfway there. Okay, I got to pick up the pace here a little bit. I don't want to be here all night. As much as I love you guys, and I really enjoy spending time with you. And I sounded very facetious saying that, but I really do mean it. Okay, Primal Ancient. I already took them out of the box, but it doesn't matter. I'll show you the next box from the next Primal Ancient. So you get them like this in their tray. So they do get spare hands. They do get, the skirt. But that's it, with one exception. Pop the hands out. Hands don't come in a bag. So that's, that's different about them. You just get the straight goods of the. I forgot to cut the thing again. I said I was gonna do it. I said I was gonna forget. Primal Ancient packaging I'm not keeping, which is why I'm throwing it in that pile, the discard pile. All right, Onyx. First impressions. Very, very black, but like I said, there is still a little bit of difference in the tones. So his chest is a little bit more matte, so that like the sort of skin parts are a little bit more matte. It's still the same color. So on most, if not all, of the apes, I think it's all of the apes, there's color separation between the chests and the fur bits. But in the case of the cats, the color is carried over, which makes sense. It's not a different torso, but I can live with that. Can't wait to get the armor packs to go with these guys. I'm not gonna lie. AWOK Capybara character confirmed. I haven't seen a capybara, but I wouldn't rule it out, because I've seen some of the species and they're diverse. Yeah, the skirting on this guy is now. Jason might be able to confirm. I think the skirting on this is like a really, really dark midnight navy blue. It's certainly not black, but I don't know if my lighting is like playing a trick on me. I don't know if it's like purple, like a deep indigo purple, or whether that's a navy blue. Jason, but it looks awesome. It's really, really good. you know, I wish we could have got armor pack in that color, but it'll have to do. I love these guys because they are basic figures. I'm going to use some of these again to sort of add some more diversity to the horde, to add more diversity to the Chunari army, and you know, more options just gives you sort of more fodder bits if you're customizing. If you want to sort of round out, you know, your beasts, you know, it's just fun to have other options. So the Primal Ancients, for me, are just a really, really great way to do that. And then with the armor packs, you know, you can start mixing up armor that comes on existing figures with armor that's coming from the armor packs with Primal Ancients, and on and on and on. And, you know, I kind of ran the different figures through different permutations through a very sophisticated computer. I didn't. I just looked at all the pictures and compared them. I think you can get like 10 different, like if you're building a horde army, I think between waves 1 and 2 and 3, you could build out like 10 or 12 different horde soldiers. So I mean, that's pretty cool considering there's only like 3 actual horde figures. You know, you can start swapping parts and things like that, and you can get some pretty cool unique combinations. Nolan asks, are the Ancients considered part of Wave 2 or are they more 2.5? They're considered part of Wave 2. Wave 2 is effectively the second half of the Kickstarter, but just for production reasons, they had to be sort of separated into the original offering of the original 6, and then the second offering of the ones that I've opened today, plus the Ancients. The weapons packs got sort of lumped in with Wave 1. The head packs and the Primal Ancients got lumped in with Wave 2. So Wave 2 is considered to be the 4 standard figures that I just opened, Thane, the 4 Primal Ancients, and the 3 head packs. And now you know. Primal Ancients come in a very simple, standardized box. They don't get art on the side. They just get logos on the side. They do get, you know, their names on the front at least. So each figure, you know, has that. But on the back, they all have the same art, which is it's kind of a combination of like different things. It's not entirely a Chunari Legionary. It's not entirely, you know, a Horrid Ravager. You know, he's got the shield, I think, from the Cobalt weapons pack, or at least very similar to that. You know, he's got the helmet from the Horrid. He's got like it's kind of a mishmash of different stuff. But I'm going to open these Primal Ancients quickly so that we can get to the main event, which is Thane. And then I can call it a night. I can give these guys all a nice warm bath and pose them up. Oh, we're going to do head swaps. I forgot. If I forget again and you want to see them, remind me. Jason says, we'll have armor sets on sale at PowerCon. I think once fans see what they can do with Ancients and armor, it will really start to click what these are intended for. I think you are absolutely right. I think between, you know, all the figures that we have, and now I have sort of one of each figure, plus the armor packs, plus what we're getting in Wave 3, man, this line is just going to be banging people over the head for the next few years with so much cool product. I can't believe people are still sleeping on this stuff, to be honest. If you don't have one of these in hand, do yourself a favor and get one quick. Next figure. Horde Infantry. So, adding a little bit of diversity to the Horde. I'm going to borrow a helmet from this guy. There you go. We're gonna get an armor pack. That armor pack is very quickly gonna go on this guy. He's gonna get weapons from the Cobalt weapon pack. He's gonna get he might borrow something from the, you know, my Horde, one of my Horde Ravagers. It might not need, you know, his energy weapon or whatever. Just so much fun. Next, Ash. So Ash has, I believe, I feel like I'm missing a figure. I think I am. Okay. Are there 5 Ancients and I only have 4? Or am I going crazy? Trim the little thing. Jason says Onyx skirting is blue. It looks awesome. I want more figures with more blue, which we are getting. I can't tell you who's going to be in blue armor. You'll have to stay tuned to find out. All right, so Ash is basically a kind of very, very basic version of Lexion. So you get the cat hands, the cat feet, that very, very nice cat head. So if you don't get a Lexion, do yourself a favor and get this guy because he looks really, really good. He's basically got Chunari colored skirting on here, which looks great. He comes with the spare hands. Brick says, love his coloring. I think you're referring to this guy. This guy has great coloring. The 2 shades of brown look really, really good. I agree. Nolan says the orange guy. Yes, but I mean, I know this because I look at the figures all the time. I think I'm missing the Chunari Ancient. In fact, I'm quite certain that I am because I only have 4, and I'm like 90% sure that there's 5. That's okay. Now I can't remember if I ordered it or if I didn't order it or if it. Oh well. The orange guy. The orange guy is next. I got him right here. The Feral Beastie. This guy is great. The orange is he's very orange. He's very orange. He has that very kind of like cartoon orangutan type color. Like it does not. It definitely has a comic book feel to the color. It definitely has a Beastman feel to the color. He is definitely going to be a great companion to Tanger, the PowerCon exclusive, which will be available at PowerCon. I think you can order it through the PowerCon website. It might have been on Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know. It may be available other places. Stay tuned. Sorry. I've been going for an hour. My throat's getting dry. Normally when I do this with a co-host, when I do my sort of chatty type shows, I'm able to like take a break and take a sip when I ask a question. Normally when I'm doing my unboxings, I can take a sip without sort of doing it, interrupting sort of the flow of things. Forgive my unprofessionalism tonight. Should I do it off screen? How do I do it? Anyway, I kid. Thanos Copter. I got 2 of those to hang out with Beastman. Good call. Now you need a Tanger. Nolan says, already have special armor for him, thinking Thanos used the same armor. Those are the ones I ordered multiples of. Beastman's going to have a crew. Yeah, I mean, that's a good shout. And in Nate Barch's art on the, I think it's the Masterverse Beastman, don't they show like more than what like the species, the sort of Beastman species? And yeah, Brick says including a thick bodyguard in the form of Tanger, of course. Thanoscopter, and I have some Beastman armors laying around. I think a bunch of people are sort of doing it that way. And I've seen pictures like that, and it looks great. Bricks, yep, we're on the same page. I don't have Beastman. I don't have any Motu figures, whether that's Origins or Masterverse. I'm not a Motu guy. I've been tempted to get them because they scale almost perfectly with these. You know, you can use the armor, you can use the accessories and the weapons, and it would add sort of diversity and fodder. Being in Canada, we do get deals on those sometimes, but it's nothing compared to the deals that you guys get, you know, when they're like $5 at Target or whatever. So now we need a female. Well, I got good news for you. Wave 5 is coming up quick. And Wave 5 will have a couple female figures. If you're referring to a female of sort of this color, nothing yet, at least that I'm aware of. But who knows? That's a good shout. That's a good call. I will mention that to somebody that might be able to do something about that. Nolan says a beast woman would be pretty awesome. Yeah, that's a good call. And I think you know, there's room in the market for it. Ray Paz, pick them up. They are so cheap. I mean, I would if they were so cheap to me. That's the problem. For me, they're not that cheap. What do they go for? I think up here they go for between like 30 and 40 Canadian dollars. And then when they go on sale, they're like 25. So they don't go on sale in the same way that you guys get sales. So. All right. Any questions? Any comments? Should we do the head swaps now and then do Thane, or do we do Thane and then the head swaps? I already did a few of the head swaps. I kind of showed that first wave with the head swaps. I did the Khor Doon head swap. There's a head swap for Lexion. There's a head swap for Vero Atlas. There's a head swap for Blight. Ray Paz says head swaps, so let's do that. Brick says, yeah, I didn't know Nate Barch took creative license and put an orange female beastie on the back of the New Eternia Beastman figures box. Yes. I mean, and it looks cool, right? Like, I think once people saw that, they were like, now I want that figure. Now I want a female Beastman. Okay, head swaps. Should we go back to the beginning? We'll start with Vero Atlas. So Vero Atlas comes with the same head sculpt that we get with Tiberius. We also got the alternate for Atreyu in a redeco. He's got those really piercing blue eyes, which is really, really cool. And that carried over to the Atreyu repaint. Still gets the ponytail with a nice blue band. And so that is the head that is designed to go on Vero Atlas. And it looks really, really good. Again, like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of swapping with this guy. So he's going to get a little bit more armor. So he's going to get armored legs. He might get a shoulder pauldron as well, or two. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to use some of the white, the white fur bits to do another figure. He looks pretty good. I will say this. I'm just going to do the head swaps that are like the head swaps that are designed to be swapped. But that being said, there's a lot that are sort of similar shades that you can certainly do. Just as a quick example, I will sort of show you. So I did that head swap already. So Khor Doon's head came off. That head went on. But just to show you color-wise, the Khor Doon and Atreyu are close enough that in a pinch you could sort of swap those heads around. they're close enough. They're all cats, so you can sort of get away with it. Lexion gets a head swap to that sort of cougar head, which also looks really, really good. You get that one off. You get this one on, maybe. Try not to break anything. Try to gently put them on. Some of them go on easy. Some of them are a little firmer. This would be something that I would typically do with a little bit of hot water. But for the sake of brevity, I'm going to do it without. The cool thing about that one is that they still did spots. So the spots on that alternate head actually like match, which looks really, really good. Jeremy says head swaps. Now there's one in particular I'm looking for. I don't know which one in particular you're looking for, but yeah, that looks really good. Again, like, man, this feels like a different figure, right? Like, it feels like a different character. You could easily just do the head swap without swapping anything else, and you'd be able to get away with it. Maybe a little bit less with some of the asymmetrical characters, but there's Blight. The alternate head is like equally as menacing. Actually, maybe even more so with the sort of war paint on it. Brick something says, I really love that head. We need a neck plug to use AWOK heads on Mythic Legions. They're fantastic sculpts. Somebody is doing that. Somebody, who is it? Somebody in the Cabal has posted that, and I think somebody in the AWOK group has posted that as well. And he's doing pegs in both directions. So like AWOK to Mythic Legions and Mythic Legions to AWOK as well. The only reason that I don't have any is because the shipping was twice as much as ordering the actual adapters. So maybe Legion's gone? I don't know. We'll see. There's a head swap on that one. That one is so this one was actually designed to go on this, and there's meant to be two of these guys that are like Blight's kill squad, basically. Blight plus two of these guys is like their own little assassination squad. They look great. Man, that's a good looking head. That's a good looking head. Better than mine. Get it sized up the same. I should just get him to host shows from now on. Anyway, that's all of them. That's all the sort of standard head swaps. Like I said, I did 4 of them before. The only one that I haven't done is this one. There's an alternate sort of pale / Blight head. And this one matches the Horrid Ravager. So this one matches that one. The only reason I'm not doing that one is because it seems... actually, I'll swap it just to show you. It seems a little out of place. That head, again, in the same way that the pale with a head swap, I'm going to add probably a black wash or a brown wash too. Because I don't want it to look too much like pale. I feel like this head sculpt feels out of place on this particular body. Okay. Across the first 2 waves, that's the thing that I dislike the most. I don't like this head in this colorway on this body. There's my complaint. I'm sending an email. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. I prefer that head. That's the alternate. That's not the standard head. That is the alternate gray head from the Adventurers headset, I think is what it's called. I don't know. Anyway, look great. Get the headsets. Get the head packs. Get all of it. Get one of everything. Then you'll have, you'll have all this stuff to play with. Like me. Brick something. Are the Kill Squad showing up in the comic or just something you've heard? It is something that Jason has referenced multiple times. Whether it's going to be in the comic book or not, I do not know. Kelly says that head on Blight is absolutely badass. Quite savage, one could say. Yes, indeed. I think it kind of has a little bit of that vibe too. So where some of the eyes are a little bit more cartoony and comic booky, I think this one kind of gets away with, fitting in with other lines, whether that's, Mythic Legions or Savage Crucible or what have you. I think that gets this figure into a slightly different look, a little bit less cartoony, a little bit less comic booky, and a little more not realistic, but you sort of get what I mean. So you could absolutely get away with that in a couple of the different lines. Agreed. Should we open Thane? Thane is huge. The box is big. The figure is big. It's heavy. If I had to guess, this thing weighs as much as like all 4 of those standard figures combined. There's a whole lot of plastic in this box. And I am very, very excited about Thane. I'm very excited about Thane, both as an awesome, gigantic figure, and because Thane is a really cool character in the comic book. So, Thane in the box. Mine happens to be looking way up. I don't know why. It's weird. You get the artwork on the side, which is, as I said, the box is thicker, so you get more art. He gets his own sort of full box back just to himself. He gets his bio on there as well, but there's no sort of call outs to any other figures. You just get Thane on this box. And he gets art on both sides. And logo on the top. Legalese on the bottom. Let's free the gorilla. What was the name of that gorilla that we're never supposed to forget? Anyway. Kelly Chase, you got to come through on that one. You're all about memes. You got to... Be careful with the tape on this one. I just pulled up some of the orange in the background of my cardboard. And that kind of bums me out. You see it in there? That bums me out. I guess I need another thing. He gets a big orange bag for his big extra hands. For anybody keeping track, I thought it was big. It's not as big as I thought. For the record, for anybody keeping track, we now have small, medium, and large orange bags. So there you go. 10 years from now, that'll come up on some sort of AWOK trivia, and you'll be like, I remember, I know the answer, because I watched this video. My man, Kelly, coming through with Harambe. Indeed. Never forget Harambe. Man, Thane is huge. Thane is so big that there's like a whole bunch of ties because you can't keep him in this package. He's gonna break free. Did I get them all? Let's see. This one, no seeing them. Yeah, he's in there good. I'm just trying to figure out if I got them all. Okay, I think I got them all. Okay, I'm gonna. While I take him out of the package, I'm not gonna say anything because this is a big package. It's gonna make a lot of noise. Jeez. Oofa, oofa. Hear that ab crunch? Oof. Reassuring. Thane is a big boy. He is he's huge. Like okay. I'll talk about him for a bit. I will and then I will take the shoulder pauldron off and compare him to Onyx. Because he's right there. He's way thicker. He's wider. He's like thicker this way. I like, the design of his head is really good too. He could look way up. Or if you get him in that sort of gorilla crouched pose, he's gonna look really, really good because he's still looking straight forward. My Thane is a very noble gorilla. He's gonna be standing tall, so I don't need to put him in that gorilla pose. He's got these thick, chunky legs that are relatively short for his body. That's the way he's designed in the comic. I think it looks really, really good. I think it stands out and makes him look, very unique. The arms are huge, and so the wrist, like here's a standard arm. Here's a tiny little arm. I'm pretty sure this could be a shield for the standard size figures. He's huge. He weighs a ton. His armor looks fantastic. There's tons of that weathering. Remember I was talking about how the armor is like weathered, and you can see it there, like the scuffs and the dings and the dents, like all of it. All through the shoulder pauldron, all through the bicep armor, through the wrist. Less so on like the skirting, but then it's still on the shins as well. Lots of that metallic on the red, lots of the metallic on the blue, but then you get matte for the brown for sort of the leather bits. It's all matte. Great big buckle like this. This shoulder pauldron is massive. That's a standard size figure. That's the shoulder pauldron. He could live in here. This guy could curl up and live in this shoulder pauldron. As I said, I'm going to compare a sort of slimmed, and I'm holding them so that they're sort of the same height. So Thane is taller, but then the rest of the rest of a standard size figure fits within like the torso frame of Thane. I should have used one that's a different color. I thought the same color to make sense. But let's do it with the Feral Beastie so that you sort of see. He fits within, the frame of the torso, a little bit shorter. So the arms are as thick as this figure. This arm basically has the same sort of circumference as this guy's body. He's big. He's mean. He's Thane. And look at those eyes. Like I said, the paintwork on the eyes is not going to translate. You're not going to be able to appreciate it for as good as it is. Is he my favorite, though? I think that's the big question, right? Is this my favorite figure in the line? I don't know. I don't know. I just opened them, and so there's like literally immediate recency bias. Okay. No, Pale's still my favorite. I got to go back to Pale. Pale's still my favorite. I love that character. I love that figure. Accessories as well. Oh, I didn't do the accessories. We'll do the accessories. Okay, that's all the figures out of the packaging. Head swaps. I'll do a head swap for this guy while I'm sort of... So he does get this alternate head, this, you know, snarling, helmeted, again, with the blue metallic on there. Never forget Harambe. Respect the orange bags and paper. I do respect the orange bags. The paper, nah. I heard some things about the guy that wrote that paper, and I'm not sure that I approve of his lifestyle choices. Ray Paz feels like 3 pounds of plastic. That's what I forgot. I meant to have a scale. I wanted to weigh him. I wanted to actually weigh him. Maybe I'll take a picture of him on a scale and post that at some point. I probably won't because I'll probably forget to do it. But this head does not want to go on, and I don't want to force it. Again, a little bit of heat goes a long way sometimes. Come on. So there you go. You can get a second Thane. You can have sort of, you know, the army general. Maybe it's Thane's brother or cousin or something like that. We're gonna get a couple figures from this mold, so you could do some armor swapping, and then you don't necessarily have 2 Thanes. Just saying. Get some more gorillas. What else? Okay, accessory-wise. So he comes with basically what we get with the standard figures, just in a way oversized example. So you get the fists. You get the more open hands. So this will easily hold, you know, the arm of a standard figure. Oh, and I just... You know that scene where Hulk grabs in the Avengers, where Hulk grabs Loki and just like smashes him on the... I think I'm gonna recreate that. And now I can't remember who it was. Somebody did a really cool AWOK. They put AWOK heads onto like Marvel Legends figures. They recreated the Avengers, and it looked really, really good. Shout out to whoever that was. I think it was Brian George, but I'm not 100% certain. Then Thane gets his big, nasty hammer. This thing looks... You know, we were talking about weathering. This thing is fully weathered. Like, it looks like it smashed a whole bunch of stuff. And then, again, like I said, with other stuff, you know, you get this sort of wrapped look to the sculpt. You get sort of a wood finish where it's not wrapped, and then more wrap on the end, and then even the design on the bottom, where you could get away with just doing no design at all. The attention to detail on these is phenomenal. Really, really phenomenal. Really, really impressed with everything that I've gotten. Everything, like I said, apart from this head, I like everything in the line. Except the person in customer service, but that's okay. Brick says, I love him, and he's a standout for sure, but he's not my favorite either. He's attention grabbing, an epic figure. He really is an epic figure. He really is going to have a ton of shelf presence. And he's just going to be a ton of fun to play with and pose and, get into battles. And, once I sort of get these guys all settled in and I get my Horde army all set up, I'm going to have, the Horde, and I'm going to have Thane, Atreyu, Pale. That's enough. I think they could take on the whole Horde army themselves. But Brick says, I display unhelmeted. I will be doing the same. As much as I like that helmeted head, I think unhelmeted is the way that I'm going to do it for sure. Nolan displays it helmeted. I've heard a few people say that. A few people that are doing it helmeted. So David Williams is here. What is going on, David? Good to have you, my friend. Thanos Copter, I prefer the unhelmeted. Both look great. Yeah, I mean, they both look great. I mean, I think I'm a little bit biased because, to the best of my knowledge, we haven't seen the helmeted head in the comic. We've only seen, this Thane head. Now, whether we'll see him with a helmet or not, I don't know. Issue 5 can't come soon enough. But yeah, I mean, to me, that's more. We've had 4 comic books. This to me is the more iconic look for Thane, as far as what I know of the character. And if Jason dares to do anything with this character, I will be triggered. Just kidding. I'm not that guy. But it's fun to laugh at that guy. Jeremy says unhelmeted is accurate to the comic. 100%. I agree with that, and that's kind of where I'm at. I think maybe that's it. Maybe people that are sort of less, maybe if you haven't read the comic, maybe that's where people are going to be displaying that one. Look, that's a great sculpt though. That snarling look is a great sculpt, and that metallic blue is really, really nice. And with the armor pack, we're going to get another metallic blue Chitauri helmet. So, like I said, the War General Thane, this makes sense. He's about to smash some little monkeys with this thing for sure. This thing is awesome. Thane's hammer is bonkers. The design is great, and this is like a straight callback to the 4-inch line. This is like almost exactly the same as the 4-inch one. Not the same size, obviously, but Ray Paz, I wish the helmet was like the one from the Chitauri where you could just take it on and off on both heads. Yeah, me too. Not gonna lie. That's yeah, for sure. I don't know this, but now I'm gonna ask this. Now that I sort of have this stuff in hand, I'm gonna ask Jason, and so I will get back to you on that one if I ever think to do that. I know that he always intended to reuse the Thane buck. My guess is that this was always intended to be the alternate head for the Horrid version of Thane, and it turned out so awesome that it got included with Thane. My suspicion is that Thane always was coming with this head, and that this was a late addition. And that because this was designed for the other figure, I suspect that this was designed, like the Horrid one was probably designed to have this and not an alternate as well. So, the need to remove it wasn't there, if that makes sense. That's my guess. I don't know. And Jason's probably gone to bed because he's been packing orders all day. So I can't get that answer right now, but I'll try to get that answer. Brick said, plus the expression on the unhelmeted is fantastic. Yeah, the expression on both of them. Like, I think because he's sort of like among the first two waves, right? He was the last one, to the best of my knowledge, to get designed. So I think there's probably like, all of these are really, really great design, like really, really great designs. I've gone on and on and on about how great the designs are with the fur, with the hair, like for all of them. Thane's head, there's just a little bit more to it. It's just a little bit better. Now, maybe that's because it's a little bit bigger, so it's able to be a little bit more expressive or something. But regardless, they both look awesome. Awesome. And the more I look at it, the more I look at this helmeted one, the more I like it. But like I said, he's going on the shelf unhelmeted for now. We'll see. That's all I got. That's all the figures open. That's the head swapped. That's us chatting a little bit about AWOK. Any other questions? Any other comments? Anything you guys want to chat about? A couple more minutes. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap it up. As I said, all of this stuff came from eCollectibles.ca. If you are in Canada, that is the spot to get Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figures, without a doubt. By the time you get something shipped, with the exchange rate, with the shipping, the duties, on and on and on, Mike at eCollectibles is your guy. He'll get you sorted out. Waves 1 and 2 are in stock now. Wave 3 will be in stock soon enough. And then I chat with Mike all the time, and he's assured me that anything that AWOK releases that is available for him to purchase and sell, he will do it. So Wave 3, the armor packs. Wave 4, Wave 5, Wave 6, which is coming soon. It looks awesome. Wave 5 is coming soon. I mean, all of it's coming soon enough, but not soon enough, if you know what I mean. All will be available through eCollectibles. All of it will be available through SpiroToys.com. All of it will be available wherever fine toys are sold. But you should buy it from eCollectibles or Spiro Toys, because, those are the guys that I love the most. So why not? Nolan, are they getting the game? I don't know. That's still sort of up in the air. There's still some issues as far as the game goes. It's release date on the game is up in the air. So release is to be determined on the game, but stay tuned for more news. Whether that's through Kato over on his channel doing the official Animal Warriors of the podcast, or whether I chat about it. The game, they sort of stuck a pin in the game for now. It had to hit an MOQ. Okay, so it had to hit an MOQ before it could get manufactured, basically. And at the moment, it hasn't hit the MOQ, so it's still pending. You can still get your orders in, and if they get enough orders, they can make it. But it's still a ways off of MOQ, so it's gonna be a while before the game gets made, which bums me out. But it's not a never. It's just not. It was designed to come with Wave 3, and it won't be coming with Wave 3. Thanos Copter, this line is killing it. Just amazing all-around quality, posability, sculpt, paint, lore, all fantastic. Absolutely. I will add to that the people behind it are also fantastic. Jason is just such a good dude, and he and I have become fast friends. And I've said this before. It's not very often that a line comes out where like everything comes together. I'm much more likely to support somebody that I like, that I would like to have, a beer with or whatever. And Jason's definitely that guy. On top of that, anthropomorphized animals is my jam. So this is this line to me is just perfect, which is why I'm shilling so hard for them. Anyways, that's all I got tonight, guys. This has been a very, very fun episode of Open Late slash Monkey Time Theater slash monkey business slash whatever. Like I said, normally my unboxings are like the other way around, right? Where you see what I'm unboxing and you see my hands and you don't see my face. But this stuff didn't fit. I didn't have enough room to unbox all this stuff, so I had to do it this way. But as I always say when I'm doing these, it's an absolute pleasure to have you guys. It's always fun to hang out. You know, it's always way more fun to open toys with friends, which is what we're doing tonight. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm getting so close to 500. It's like agonizingly close to 500 now. It's always a ton of fun to do these videos, and it's way more fun to have you guys here with me doing them. Whether you're live in the chat, whether you're watching on replay, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't wait to do this again. I can't wait to get another whole wave of AWOK in hand. But in the meantime, I will have to just talk about AWOK. So as I said, over on Brick's channel, we do the AWOK Talk videos. Should be a new episode very, very soon. Brick is just finishing up the editing on that one. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, we will be doing the next episode of Monkey Talk, which is the live chat show all about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So very, very excited about that. Always a good time to get together with Brick, talk about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So I hope you guys can join me for that. Until next time, bye-bye.